folks, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Today is December 16th, 2024. Yeah, there was 2 tornadoes that hit California over the weekend. One there by the Presidio in San Francisco, and the other one down by Santa Cruz. The Bible in the end times does talk about earthquakes, famines, and pestilence in various places. Yeah, Luke 21:11. People might wonder if that's what's going on right now. I don't know. San Francisco got its first tornado warning as a twister hits another California town that was down by Santa Cruz. Several storms caused damage across Northern California on Saturday, and the National Weather Service confirmed that an EF1 touched down in Scotts Valley, California. That was down by Santa Cruz. Yeah, I don't know if they've confirmed that the tornado did touch down in San Francisco, but it was their first ever tornado warning. The warning went out just before 6 a.m. local time on Saturday, with about 1 million people warned to take shelter. The warning ended at 6:15 a.m. as the storm moved northward into San Francisco Bay, and damage in the tornado-warned area in San Francisco was ultimately determined by the National Weather Service to be straight-line wind damage, not a tornado. I don't know. There was some really strange-looking twisting of the trees. The San Francisco Department of Emergency Management issued a statement about the tornado warning, noting that residents were understandably anxious to receive an alert so uncommon for the region. Yeah, that was one of the few things that people there often brag about. We may have earthquakes, but at least we don't have tornadoes. Well, they can't say that anymore. San Francisco Emergency Services issued an emergency alert at 5:55 a.m. when radar signatures indicated the presence of a violently rotating column of air a couple thousand feet above San Francisco. It was too dark then to tell if there was any other evidence of a tornado. For those in the Bay Area who do have emergency alerts installed on their phone, their phones buzzed with the warning with capital letters, "Take cover now." There on Fulton Street, along the northern edge of the Golden Gate Park, near the Bison Paddock, one of the areas was most heavily damaged by the trees that fell through the fence. In that area, it did look like there was ground circulation because of the fallen trees and branches. That actually is a good sign of ground circulation to many people, indicating that a tornado did in fact touch down. Maybe meteorologists were quick to jump that it was straight line winds because they are more common in the Bay Area. There had been as many as 73 trees that were downed across city parks, some of which fell onto cars and totaled them. Good thing they probably have car insurance. Multiple roofs had been torn off homes between the Mission District. There was evidence of wind speeds up to 80 miles an hour. An EF1 would be 90 miles an hour, which they had down there in Santa Cruz. Thank God no injuries were reported. Even though the fencing went down there by the bison paddock, the animals were safe. They had been confined to the inner paddock. Though the conditions were ripe for this rare event, when the tornado did form, it moved northwest of downtown and into the bay, likely dissipating due to the terrain interaction. Many of you know that San Francisco is trademarked with hills and peaks and, different, ups and downs of the Bay Area. Because of the terrain, that likely prevented it from gaining momentum and increasing in size. There evidently was quite a bit of damage by the Presidio. It extended from the outer Richmond to the Bison Paddock to Christie Field. San Francisco actually did have a confirmed tornado before, and that was in 2005, but it came without a tornado warning. So this one was actually San Francisco's first ever tornado warning. This storm also caused flooding in some parts of the city, and in the wider region, gusts of winds toppled trees. Like I said, about 75 came down, knocked out power to homes and businesses in places like Seaside, Livermore. About an hour south of San Francisco, a tornado did touch down in the city of Scotts Valley later Saturday. That tornado evidently was only on the ground for about 5 minutes, and it traveled about a third of a mile long and stretched about 30 yards wide. It did a lot of damage. In that short amount of time, it did flip multiple cars, tore down power lines, took out traffic lights, and made some trees fall into a home, and took out the McDonald's sign. The Scotts Valley Police Department told local media that at least 5 people were injured. Most of them were inside vehicles that were overturned. One of those injured was a battalion chief with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, CAL FIRE, according to a report from KSBW-TV. The most severe damage was along Mount Herman Road in the city's retail district. Yeah, there was a lot of traffic because people were out probably doing their Christmas shopping. The road was closed Saturday as officials assessed the damage and crews worked to restore power. As of Sunday morning, about 3,600 customers, that would be homes and businesses in the region, remained without power, according to Power Outage US. As of Monday morning, 10:34 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 8:34 a.m. local time, there's still 461 businesses and homes that don't have power. Captain Jason Rutherford with the Scotts Valley Fire Department said that he's been working there for 27 years. And they've never had a tornado in his time there or anything remotely like this. He added that it was very fortunate that nobody lost their life. By Sunday afternoon, Scotts Valley Police announced that Mount Herman Road was back open, and they thanked PG&E for restoring power to the area. The National Weather Service said that the tornado hit Scotts Valley on Saturday around 1:40 p.m. local time, and that 5 people were injured during the tornado. The National Weather Service stated that a preliminary damage survey determined that the tornado was categorized as a 1 on the enhanced Fujita scale. The most damage was seen along Mount Herman Road. You know, residents of California may have more experience with earthquakes than with tornadoes, but the state does experience approximately 11 tornadoes per year on average. A total of 5 people were injured and 4 of them were released from the hospital. 1 person remained in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after suffering, a punctured lung. CAL FIRE said that the battalion chief was caught in the weather event and his vehicle was picked up. He was hospitalized out of an abundance of caution, but was doing well. I don't know if he's been released yet or not. Power poles, trees, businesses, and several cars were damaged by flying debris, and 6 cars were flipped, according to the police. Additionally, the Target sign for the department store and McDonald's fast food restaurant, their signs were also destroyed. There is currently no dollar estimate for the amount of damage. According to local police, the event was on Mount Herman Road near Target. Scotts Valley Police blocked off the road in all directions between Scotts Valley Drive and Lockwood Drive. Scotts Valley Mayor Randy Johnson says that although it may be rare now, they will need to have a plan in place to prepare for another tornado. He said people were injured, cars were turned over. We didn't see any flying cows going through, but at the same time, this was a significant event, and this caught our attention. There will be future discussions on how to better prepare for a future possible tornado. The mayor said that, "I don't even know if we have a tornado siren or something like that, but I think there's a conversation that needs to be had about having tornado warnings in the future because we're going to go through it," said Johnson. Now, supposedly, crews have been working around the clock, and it could take a couple more days to repair the damage that was done, the mayor went on. The light fixtures are out, flashing red lights on Mount Herman for the next 2 to 3 days, because we don't have light standards to kind of replace them right now, and we have to order them, said Johnson. Yeah, who knows how long that's going to take and what the cost is going to be. The mayor also added that our crews are going to keep assessing the situation, looking for further damage seen for anyone else or building, but because it happened right here in the parking lot instead of an apartment house, or during a school day, it could have hit school. We feel very fortunate, said Johnson. Although 5 people had to be hospitalized, Johnson is relieved to hear that they will be okay. Well, we are very grateful and fortunate that nobody died because of this type of event. Even though it was small and short-lived, it was very ferocious, added Johnson. Always be prepared for some sort of disaster. What's next for the region? Another storm system is expected to impact the West Coast early this week, and heavy rain is possible for coastal Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Yeah, I bet you that's something that people didn't think about preparing for, living there in California. But it just shows you times are changing. Things are escalating. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And thank you very much for your support. Please like, please share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Merry Christmas, everybody, and God bless you all.